Hey everybody, I'm Evan, and here we are back again with another installment of our top 100 games of all time. And I'm joined as always by Lizzy.
Hello everyone, I'm Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers. Thank you again for having me on, Evan.
My absolute pleasure. I'm having a great time doing this with you.
Same. With you.
Yeah, alright. So this week we are going through our 70 to 61.
Yes.
This time, there are no games that were on any previous list, my 2018 list. These are all, they're not necessarily new games, but they're new games to the top 100.
Ooh, wow. That's an exciting...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't have any from
then,
2021 left. Or on here, this
okay.
section.
Okay. And as a sneak preview, there's a game that I referenced before about how I like putting things in order. There's a game that there's another art game, and there's a mass market game on here. So.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So I say let's do it.
Yes, let's. So my number 70 is a game that just recently had a reprint that I believe Grayson was very much excited about, and it was his most anticipated game for 500 years.
Okay.
It is, you're trying to go around Arabia, I think is where, or maybe Arabia is just the center one, but you're trying to go around and get story points, and it's, some people call it just an activity, not a real game, but it's a game for me, and I enjoy it. So it's very story driven, and it is Tales of Arabian Nights. I almost said Arthurian.
Yeah.
But Arthurian Nights.
The new one that's the new one. Yeah. But the OG one is the Arabian Nights. Yes.
Yeah, which I did not have Tales of Arthurian Nights before I got this one. And I don't know, I'm thinking Arthurian Nights might be replacing Arabian Nights for me.
Interesting. But as of right now,
Arabian Nights is the one that's on the list.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about the game.
It's, you're going around, you're having encounters.
Well, yeah, right. I was going to say, the draw to this game is that book, that storybook.
Nice, thick. The thing I like about Arthurian Nights over Arabian Nights is that it's more gender. Like, Arabian Nights was very much, you had to be in heterosexual relationships. You were very much male or female. Versus Arthurian Nights is away from that.
Yes.
But still...
But as you know, they are fixing that with the new edition. So...
Well, that's good.
The reprint that was on GameFound or whatever recently.
I got the extra stuff. I didn't get the solo mode, which... the solo mode's not that great in the new one anyways, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think it works better as like a shared experience where you can all kind of read these stories together and this weirdness that unfolds.
Yeah, all the outrageous stuff. Like, one time we played with Brooksy, he had where his actions were controlled by someone else and his decisions were controlled by someone else.
Oh.
So he was just basically sitting there going, okay, take my turn for me.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
And then you just try to think of the most outrageous response to whatever it might be. So you might be coming across the beggar, and so you set them on fire.
And sometimes that's the right thing to do.
Which is just crazy.
It turns out that beggar was a demon or something, right? And then, and now you've eradicated it, and then you're the hero of the town. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That is an excellent pick. I thoroughly enjoy that game. Okay, so... My number 70 is a game that you are going to think is too low on this list. And there's a reason, and that is Clank. Specifically, Clank Legacy. Okay.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's low.
The reason is that we had played Clank, like base Clank, and I just thought it was okay. Like, we played it at a tabletop night or whatever. It was fine. I didn't not like it. I didn't, but you know what I mean? It didn't. Then I had started hearing about the Clank Legacy version, and I'm like, well, I think that might add what I like in this game, and it did. So Clank is the game, where it's a deck builder, and the deck building in this game is really fun because there's a lot of strange like cards and items and stuff that that you can either fight with or move with or buy other cards with, I guess, like a standard deck building game, and you're going to get the treasures and get out. But the Legacy adds all of this big overarching story, and it maybe makes it a little bit more cooperative because everybody wants to see these stories together, that sort of thing. But yeah, we played through Clank Legacy Season 1, and we are currently playing through Season 2 and having a great time with it.
Okay. Which one do you like better so far, Season 1 or Season 2?
It's hard to tell because we're only 2 games into Season 2 at this point.
So still real new.
But we're having a heck of a good time with it. So that's why it dings a little bit for me because I know they are replayable afterwards, but we have not actually done that with the first season. So, but when I'm playing it, I have a really good time. So yeah, that's why that's my number 70.
It is a lot of fun. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, all right.
Don't agree with the placement of it, but
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so my 69, it is a hidden movement game. It is a redoing of one that I think is higher on my list, if I remember right. Yeah, it's higher on my list. But it's a little bit more balanced. So you're going around, you can either be investigators trying to find Jack the Ripper, or you're Jack the Ripper trying to kill the unfortunates. I think they're called Wretched still.
No.
But this version, you have to do it in different quadrants of the game board. So you can't just, run home really quick on your final night. So it's a little bit more favored towards the investigators than the original. And
the name of that game is?
Whitehall Mystery.
Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, so it's redo of Letters from Whitechapel. Yep. And so just another hidden movement game where you're trying to find the one, and he has to pretty much ding where he's at.
Yeah. I have never played that. I remember when it came out, I was like, ooh, this sounds really good, and we should probably get this. And then it kind of just went away. Like, I didn't really hear much about it after, like, it got announced, and then it was gone. I don't know. For whatever reason, that one didn't catch on.
I think part of it is because Letters from Whitechapel was just so big that people were like, well, I don't need a new version. I have this one.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Oh well, that's cool. It sounds fun. I would definitely play that. So
okay, well, add it to the list.
The long list. Okay, so my number 69 is it's a game that I have only played solo, even though it plays solo, cooperative, and competitive. And that is a game called The Lost Expedition.
Oh.
Do you know what what that game is?
Yeah, it's a jungle game where you're laying down cards.
So you are like an explorer team trying to find the lost city of Z. Or El Dorado, or whatever it's called. And so it's all cards, but you make the map with the cards, and you have to get from one end to the other. And every stop you make, every hand, is the worst possible things that can happen to you. Like, just the worst perils. Like, just really, like, animals attack you, and the locations are treacherous. And you have, characters that have health, and then also like bullets and food, and you have to try to manage those things to make it to the end, and it is very hard. But
it's a challenging one.
Yeah,
but
it's extremely challenging. But it's fun to try. And then I also have the expansion, which adds a couple of more characters and some even weirder supernatural even type things that you can run into.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the expansion is called The Lost City of Z. If I remember right.
I don't remember offhand because it's all mixed in at this point. And there's some promos too with some other weird monsters and stuff. So I'll throw all that in together. And like, you know, like there's an interesting way you play the cards because you can try to play them in order to a point where, you know, you can try to manage. So like, okay, I'll gain food on this one, but then I'll have to spend it on this next one. You know, that sort of thing with like the hand management. So, but very quickly it'll spiral out of control, and your people will get injured, and then they will die, and then before you know it, you got one guy trying to hobble his way to the end, and they rarely make it. So
yeah, and if you get one last health point, you lose, but then you get the victory, and it's awesome.
It's happened a couple of times, but it doesn't happen that often. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's most of the time it's I'm halfway through and I'm done.
Have you played it? Have you actually played it?
Yeah, I've played it a few
Fantastic.
times. It's a really fun
Great.
one.
Cool. All right. Yep. Yeah, that's my number 69, The Lost Expedition.
Okay, well, my 68, it is the most unique one on the list. It is, guess what? Another hidden movement game. So in this one, you have flashlights. So all players have flashlights that they can like turn, and it lights up. So then the bad person can't, you know, attack them if they're in that, or they have to show that they're there. And so you try to turn your flashlight so you can't get hit from behind while you try to do the different objectives that the game has. It is called The Stifling Dark.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has a very dark look, very dark cover, and it's just such a thematic, you feel like you're the people in there. And like, you can turn on the lights when you go into a room, so that way your flashlight doesn't have to be, you know, as far, and you can play this where it can be, you know, brighter, farther, or wider as a variant. So they're actually like flashlight overlays that you can put on the board.
That's cool. That's a pretty recent game, right? Like that's pretty new, right?
Yeah, it actually came out in 2024. Which, oh yeah, Tales of Raven was 2009 and Whitehall was 2017. Keep forgetting about those years.
You do way more research than I do, so.
Really? It's just...
Yeah, whoa, spoilers.
Like, number, name, year. That's all that I have written down.
Look. But yeah, that game sounds like something that I would really enjoy. That sounds like something that's right up my alley.
Yeah. I feel like that's one that you would love, especially to do in October with your spooky games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we can definitely add that to the list.
Okay, well, you're going to come up in October so we can play it then, is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I'll be coming up in August, so... we could call it October. Okay. I mean, time's all relative, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I know I've said it before, like, spooky season lasts all year round.
Yeah, so we can play it tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Are you good there? You got everything on that one?
Okay. Yeah, cooperative, awesome. Well, 1v all. But you're...
Yeah, right, okay. Yep.
Hidden movement and lots of fun spookiness.
Yep, sounds cool. Sounds really cool. Okay, so my number 68 is the other game where I enjoy putting things in order. And this is a game where you're putting books in order. And this is Ex Libris.
I've heard
Have you played Ex Libris?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, okay. So, right, so like it is, at its heart, it's like a worker placement game because you have workers that you're putting out into these tiles that allow you to like draft cards or move cards around, that sort of thing. But the heart of the game is you're organizing these like books onto a bookshelf, and they have to be in alphabetical order. And arranged in a specific way. And it's fun because they're all like fantasy books, you know, and they'll have like really funny titles and stuff like that. And the pieces are really fun. Like the little workers are cool, and the little you can be like a gelatinous cube, and that's your main character. So you know, it leans heavily into like the fun like fantasy. Tropes, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy putting things in order, and for some reason, I really enjoy alphabetizing things too. So I don't know. I have a good time with that one.
Okay, I was gonna ask,
That's
is
Ex
it like
Libris.
Dewey Decimal System or alphabet?
Okay, so it's alphabetical, but then what it'll do, it'll be like if there's like 10 A cards, it'll be like A1, A2, A3, that sort of thing. So you can't there's multiple for each letter, but it's easy to, know where they go basically. You don't have to do too much thinking about it.
Well, that's good.
But I don't know. It's still a fun puzzle trying to get everything lined up to where you need it to go so that it's all 100% in alphabetical order.
Yeah, so that way you don't
that's
have
what I enjoy
a
about the game.
B3 after an A or before an A4.
Right, that would be a tragedy. But I don't know. That's what I really like about the game. My number 68, Ex Libris.
Okay, well, my 67 came out in 2015. It is a 2-player only game where you will each play a card. One person will get to do the action on the card, and then one person will get to do the number of actions from their card minus the other card. So, like, if you lay down a 7 and I lay down a 2, I might have mixed those up, but the 2-player would then get to do their action, and then the 7-player would then get to do just 5 actions. It is a dinosaur-themed game, too.
I don't think I know what this is.
It is called Raptor.
Oh, okay. I've never played that.
Oh my goodness, it is such a good one. But
Yeah.
you're trying to keep your scientists alive or keep your dinos alive, depending on which side you're on. Or you're trying to escape with the dinos. But anyways, so you're the dinosaurs or you're the investigators, and the dinos have this really cool one where you can like take yourself off the board and then come back on. Versus the scientists, they can put like fires to try to control the little dinos, and you're just trying to get samples. You're not trying to kill them. You're just trying to put them to sleep so you can get samples.
Yeah, sure, that's what they're doing.
Yes, but we just want to learn.
Sure. No, that sounds awesome. That I've heard about that game for years and years and years. And it looks really, really cool. I've never played it.
Well, Grand Con.
I don't even see. Yeah, that's just a given at this point, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. So my number, it was 67, is Taiwan Night Market. This is the game where there's an interesting auction sort of system where you're bidding on like locations to place your food stalls. So you're trying to build like a food stall empire, and then once everyone bids and places, then there are little like streets that like have arrows on them. So and then customers start filtering in, and then they start going to your food stall. So like certain customers want a certain thing. So if you place them closer to the entrances, they're going to stop at your place first. And then the more of yours you get grouped together, the more money you make. And it's an interesting auction sort of like, and then placing those food stalls game where you're just basically trying to make the most money out of your food stalls, cutting other people off. Like if you can see where certain customers are coming in on an area, and then you can place a food stall in front of theirs so they go to yours first, that sort of thing. It's a really fun game. It's a really great game. It's kind of a quirky game because it's like anthropomorphic animals. So, I don't know. Go into your food stalls.
So like a cat selling,
really
corn dogs or something.
Yeah, in fact, I think they're all cats. I think the food stalls are all cats, but then the customers are like pigs and sheep and whatever else. So,
well, then they probably wouldn't want to sell corn dogs.
They might, but there's like boba tea places and that sort of thing. But it's fun. It's really fun.
That sounds really interesting. But we can add that to the Grand Con list.
Yeah, it's a good one to show people because it's kind of a unique sort of game. But yeah, that's 67, Taiwan Night Market.
Awesome. So my 66 came out in 2017. It was kind of a follow-up to Five Tribes. It's beautiful. It's set in that sort of world still. So you're going and you're taking your boats and putting them out. You're trying to gather resources, try to use the people to help out. But it is called Yamatai. So I love how stunningly beautiful it is, and just the feel of it, and just going out and exploring and connecting and making certain symbol or certain patterns.
Yeah, that is another one that I've had in my hand before and thought, man, I bet this game is fun, and then it didn't end up buying it. So,
oh my goodness, there seems to be a lot of near misses on both of our lists.
Right. I don't know how that keeps happening.
It needs rectified.
So, how is it related to Five Tribes? Like, how is that?
It feels like it's kind of in the same universe. Like it's a very close theme.
Okay, because I'd heard that from people other than you.
Yeah.
That it kind of feels like a successor to it.
Yeah, it has. I don't think it's in the exact same location, but it's like that time period almost.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So, well, that was 66, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So my 66 is. It's a big game, but it's also an easy game, and that is Raccoon Tycoon. Have you played Raccoon Tycoon?
I've not. I've heard you talk about it a lot, though.
Yeah, right. So that is a big hit here in my family. So it is like a commodities speculation, railroad building, and like building and auctions. It has a lot of little things in it, but you basically do one of those things on your turn, and the turns go super quick. So you can either start an auction, or you can buy a building, or you can, get some resources, commodities, and which also affects the market. So the turns play really, really quick, and that's what's so good about this game. Even though there's like a lot going on and a lot of different ways to score points and stuff like that. And the fun part about the commodities is when you play a commodities card, it raises the prices of some of them. So then when you go to sell, then those prices crash down. So if you see someone is hoarding a specific resource or a commodity, then you're going to want to try to sell it to get the price down so they don't get like the maximum amount of price for it. So that's always fun to try to, lower the value for people. But I don't know, it just, all the little pieces fit together really well. And it makes for like a smooth game that even though there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's every time you talk about it, I'm going, man, I gotta try that one.
It's fun, and even like even like our youngest has been playing that since it came out, basically, because it's so simple to play, even though there's a lot going on.
Well, that's good.
And the art is beautiful. Yes. So that's the other thing.
It definitely looks stunning.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's my number 66, Raccoon Tycoon.
Okay. Well, my number 65 came out in 2014. It is part of the Dice Tower Essentials line. It is an area control game about royalty. It's called Royals.
Yep.
So you're playing cards out, trying to put your pieces in certain locations to try to get the most and get victory points and kind of set collection as far as you want to get I don't know if it's called the princess, but the different people out, so you could get halves of them sometimes, and yeah. So
would you believe
you're trying to get victory points?
Yeah, I've never played that game. That's another one that kind of came and went. I think it looked cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had it as a question mark for possibly being one of the most obscure of the list, but the Stifling Dark beat it out.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds fun. It's, something I would play for sure. I don't know.
It is really pretty, and the map, Kitty loves the map. She loves those types, and it's set in Europe, so it has that old-timey feel. Okay. So yeah, so it's cool. Definitely a cool period piece feel one too.
Sure, that's fun. All right, well, 65, huh? All right.
Yes.
So, 65 is the mass market game on my list.
Okay.
And that is another one that maybe people don't always consider a game, and sometimes people when they play they don't even keep score, and that is Telestrations. because I mean, look, I've never not had a good time playing Telestrations. It's the game where you have a word, you draw a picture, and then the next person writes the word, and the next person draws the picture, and then it comes back to you, and you have to see if what you started with is what it ended with, and it almost never happens. And so, and half the fun is going through your book and trying to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, seeing the evolution. And I love it when people are like super descriptive of the writing. So if they see it, it could be like a cat with like a party favor out of its mouth, and then it turns into cat on drugs or something.
Yes, right. It's ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, I've never not had a good time playing that. We actually own the 12-player version, which I can't imagine playing with 12 players, but...
I have once.
Have you really? Oh my gosh.
It's awesome when you're going through the books at the end for the first like 3 books, because it changes so much. But then it's just, okay, let's just go.
But I feel like we've probably played with like maybe 7 or 8, so it's great. And I don't care if people don't think it's a game; it's still fun. And we usually do keep score, even though it doesn't matter.
It is on Board Game Geek, so.
Oh sure, right. So it's a game.
Yeah.
It is officially a game. But yeah, Telestrations. That's my 65.
Okay. So my 64 came out in 2018. Can you guess what mechanism it is?
Hidden movement.
Yes. That is the theme of this list. So this is where you're either a guy trying to hurt campers, or you are campers trying to avoid getting hurt. And it is one that it's actually very hard on both sides, and you think, oh, the other side has it so easy. And then you play the other side, and it's like, oh my goodness, this side is so hard too. Because you're trying to... It changes based on the scenario. So you're either trying to go and attack these people, or you're trying to go and attack the specific one, or you're trying to avoid them all, and they're trying to hunt you. But it is called Last Friday.
Yeah, okay. I knew that as soon as you said that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You could have guessed it.
Because, okay, so this is... I've never played this. It looks like something that I would really enjoy, but for whatever reason, I heard a few, like, not so good things about it that kind of kept me away from it. And I kind of never gave it a second look, I guess. I don't know. I heard it was long, right? Like,
is
Is
longer.
it a long... Yeah.
It's an event game.
Sure. Okay, which isn't necessarily a problem, but I don't know. Something just... Well, whatever. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think, because it's on your list.
Yes, I definitely like it. And there's campers, or a building where you can go into, but you can turn the lights on or off, and it has this... I had to laminate it. Maybe that's something. The components weren't great, so I laminated it because this thing can flip over and have lights versus not have lights. And so it makes it harder for the hidden player to get in. And then there's you can move from here to over here. There's a hidden pathway that you can take, so you can get out fast.
Everything about that sounds great. I would like to try that sometime.
It would be a great one for you for campy, spooky season.
Yeah, it's just, yep. I agree.
It has that spooky movie feel.
It's weird because your list is sounding like my list should sound right now.
I know. I'm like, these are all games like spooky.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. So my number 64 is a game about human towers, and that is Castel. Have you played Castel? I can't remember.
I've played Castellian.
Okay, that's different. Okay, so Castel is the game where you have a troupe of like castellers, which are people who make human towers, where like they like big guys stand on the bottom, and then they build a tower of people as high as they possibly can. And this is a thing. You can look at pictures online of this. So you have a troupe, and they have to adhere to certain rules. then as you go through the game, you train to break those rules. Like, they can only be so wide, but you can increase your width of people and you increase your height and that sort of thing. So you're basically going around the country trying to, like, train and do events. And what's cool about it is that you can see ahead of time where all of these events are. So sometimes they're on the same days. So the fun part about it is trying to figure out how to do as much as you possibly can. You can, because it's impossible to do everything. Like, because there will be an event in a side of the country, and then the next event and the next day is in the other side of the country, and you cannot make both. You have to decide which one you're going to want to go to. And then they all have like certain restrictions. So like they're looking for a certain height or certain widths or certain like all the characters have little like background colors. So they're looking for certain types of characters to perform in this show. And you have to make sure you have them and you're in the right place at the right time and you're able to perform, and perform the best. Because when you do a performance, you're only going to get scored on the best one you've ever done. So like your score is, it doesn't add up every time. You're always going to try to better your previous performance.
So if you get a 21 performance, then a 13 the next, the 20 is the only one that counts.
Then you failed. Like you shouldn't have done that. You should have trained harder. But it's fun because, like I said, you look at the beginning of the game, you can see where all of the big like festivals and events are happening, and you have to try to figure out how to do it. And like that planning and that like trying to just squeak it out just right so you land in the you're in the right city at the right time is what makes that so fun to me. So that's 64 Castell.
That sounds really interesting.
It is. It's really fun.
Okay, so my 63 came out in 2020. It has a exploration type of theme, where you're going in. It's a worker placement plus deck builder. So it was compared a lot to Dune Imperium when it came out. Do you know what it is yet?
I do. I'm wondering why it's so low.
It's just where it fell. But yeah, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Right. Yep.
I love how you can send your people out to different locations based on the symbols of the cards and gather your resources to go. You could go up this track on the side or fight off these guardians that are on the upper, more profitable locations, but you gotta fight off those nasty special spirits.
Guardians.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you thought it would be higher, huh?
I may or may not like that game as well, so I guess we're going to have to stay tuned to find out.
I'm guessing it's going to be higher than 63.
So my question is, do you have any of the expansions?
Yes, I have all of them.
Okay, okay, all right. Okay.
I have not played through the campaign yet, though.
Okay.
So, who knows? Maybe if I play through the campaign, it will skyrocket up.
Okay, maybe. But ooh. Yeah, I approve of that selection.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that was number 63, correct?
Yes.
Losing my space here. All right. So my number 63 is a fun little dice game that actually got redone recently by Allplay, but I have the original one, and that is Dice Fishing Roll and Catch. This is another game that I've been quite a champion for a long time. But I don't. The new version is called Lure, but I like the art on the old one. It has like this kind of like almost like field guide type fish art. So basically, you are there'll be, and also I do have the expansion. I don't know if the expansion is worked into Lure or not, but that has. So there's two fish out there instead of one. Anyway, so each of these fish have like conditions to catch them on. So like maybe you need to roll all odds, or maybe you need a minimum, like you need to roll at least a 20. So then what you're doing is behind your screen you're wagering how many dice you think you can hit that in. So
yes.
So then if and then basically whoever wagers the least amount of dice gets to roll first. So if you want to try to roll, 3 odd numbers, you can wager 3 dice. But if you wager 6 dice, then you're probably gonna get it. But the person who wagered 3 might get that lucky roll, and they might get it. So it's simple and it's silly, but it's, I don't know. It's a game that I've played a lot with the kids because it's just, I don't know. It's just a blast to play. Sometimes games go by where I'll catch almost no fish, and I still have fun playing it. So, and I don't know.
But yeah, that sounds like a great way to teach probability too.
This is true. Yes, this is true. Yeah, right. Because sometimes, like sometimes you have to roll all different numbers. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like the conditions will change on the car and the fish as they come out. So you really got to think about: do I risk it or do I play safe and hope the other people who are going to roll before me fail? But
yeah, that is one that I really want to play.
I don't know. I've always had a great time with it. That's 63 dice fishing, roll and catch, or lure if you're looking for it these days.
Yeah, I'll probably have to get lure. Okay, so my 62 came out in 2022. It is one that every player has a different mini game. Like the blue one might be pick up and deliver, while this other one might be building up their people. But it's all about the sensor thing where you're trying to, use your board to make it so that the sensor thing happens. So you're trying to get victory points, you're trying to go up on these individual tracks, and you're trying to build these buildings because if you can build it and someone else can use it, you then get a benefit. So it is called Free Radicals. I love this one so much that I even made a homemade solo version that I put on Board Game Geek. I think I put it on Board Game Geek. Or maybe I put it in the comments or something. But yeah, I loved it so much that flip a card and it gets resources or claims something essentially. But very much loved it. The only one I haven't really enjoyed was the pick up and deliver. I just don't like that mechanism.
Okay.
But there's 12 different ones, so I could just play a different one.
That sounds cool. Did you had a video on your channel? Did you have a unboxing or a playthrough or something?
Yes.
You had something on your channel that I watched. I remember this.
Yeah, I think I played my solo variant as a video too.
Okay.
If I remember right. It's been a long time.
So my question is, how hard is that game to teach?
It's really not, because you can teach the main thing and then go to the player boards and be like, okay, so this is how you would do it. And there's a nice player aid for everyone that explains everything.
Okay.
And it's not a super complex mini game essentially for you. So it's not, I have 500 pages of rules just for myself.
Right. Yeah, like another game. But yeah, that's cool. That sounds fun. Like that sounds like it'd be something I would enjoy just because of the variability. You can try the different characters every time you play, or pick the one you like every time, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. And it's beautiful. It has like pinks and purples and it's just stunningly, it's my color palette.
I see. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, that was 62.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my 62 is, it's the downfall of Pompeii.
Oh.
This is a game that's played in 2 halves. The first half, you're using these cards to place your people into these buildings, preferably buildings closer to the exits. And then the second half of the game, at some point, the volcano erupts, and then you got to get the heck out of there. And you're drawing lava tiles at that point. No, the cards are gone, and you're placing lava that's coming out from this volcano, and it spreads across the city, ruins the city, and there's this fun little volcano. It's like a little, I don't know what it is. It's like a little piece of plastic that you wrap around, and you get to throw the meeples in there. because we've upgraded actually. I think it comes with cubes. We upgraded to like little meeples. So.
Oh yeah, I have just like hexy. There's like little meeples you can get for it.
I bought some little meeples. Yeah, yep. Because that's so much more fun.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. I think I might have got them from Meeple Source. I don't remember offhand now, but yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, if you think about it, drop me a link.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it's definitely like an in-your-face game because like all the lava's getting you this turn. You know what I mean? But it's just so light and I don't know, you don't get mad at it when I think when the lava's like you're being targeted by the lava, because then you get to pull a lava tile and you get to creep it towards another player's people.
Yeah. And part of it is you want to kind of stay together, because the more people in the same square, the faster you can move. Yes. But you don't want all your people alone because that's a hot lava piece.
Right. I think it's supposed to be like relatives are living in the same houses or whatever. It's something like that is how that's explained, right? So you want to like group the families together, but not too much together, or it's gonna end badly for you.
You go over that lava and then you lose all of them.
Yeah, but that's I love the Downfall of Pompeii. I always have a fun time playing that, and I don't know. Yeah, that's my number 62.
That is a fantastic one. Okay, so my 61 came out in 2023. It is designed by Matt Leacock and someone else. It is a game where you are trying to control or get climate change under control. You're trying to get more trees, you're trying to get more water, you're trying to reduce your output of population, or not population, bad pollution. Stuff. Pollution, thank you. It's called Daybreak. So this is another one that has beautiful artwork on the cards. The cover is just gorgeous, and each card also has a QR code that you can scan with your phone, and it goes and it tells you a little bit more about the card, some of the details on it, and then if you want to help out on that specific thing, it gives you ideas for how to help and like what you can do to make this better.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cooperative game, yes?
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because it's Matt Leacock, so I just assume, right?
He's played some. Has he done anything that's been?
Yeah, I think maybe. Maybe something we'll talk about later.
Oh, yeah. I think Nitwit was not cooperative.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
It's a game where it's like words and strings, and you're trying to put things together.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, it's unfortunately it's a topic that needs to be discussed. Ideally, it would not be occurring, but it definitely raises some awareness of some of the stuff that I never would have thought. Oh, sure. That can be a problem. Here's something I can do to help out. What I can do to play my part to make the world a little bit better. Or a little bit less disastrous.
Right. I've heard really good things about that game. I think I would enjoy playing that.
Yeah. It can definitely spiral out of control. It feels very overwhelming at the beginning. Like, we might as well just give in. There's nothing we can do. We're putting out way too much pollution. Our population is way out of control. Our electric needs are just drowning. And then slowly you start working through it. And okay, I got this. I got this functioning. Okay, I'm getting this reduced. And then eventually sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, we're actually succeeding.
Wow. Nice. Oh, that for a cooperative game, that is a good feeling.
Yes.
So that's a well-designed cooperative game.
It is a very well-designed game.
Cool. All right. Well, can you believe it? This is the last one.
On this section.
Yep. Oh, yeah, so obviously, more to come. But, so my number 61 is my other art game, and that is a bigger, heavier Euro art game called Fresco.
Oh.
Okay. This is the game. This is a game that has, I believe, inspired other games. So what you're doing is basically you're trying to paint the fresco, which is like the painting on the top of the church or whatever. So you do that by first, there's a wake-up track. And this is the first time I ever saw this wake-up track, where you decide what time you want to wake up. So if you want to wake up early, like you're going to get to the market first, but the things in the market are going to be more expensive. And if you wake up too early too often, your workers don't want to get up early. So like the morale will go down. So sometimes you got to sleep in to get that morale back up. So then anyway, you do that to like buy paints, and then you like mix these paints to get other colors to like get the right colors that you need to paint this fresco. There's like this little action like programming board that once you've got your workers that you program what you're going to do. Behind a screen, and then there's I actually have the Fresco Big Box, which is a Queen game, so there's like 20 expansions in it, and there's probably like 4 or 5 I will always use. There's one for like portraits, so you can like get extra money just by painting rich people's portraits. There is like the advanced colors, so you can mix different sorts of colors for higher points.
That's like the pink and the brown, right?
Yeah, okay. Also, you've played it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and there's a few other ones. There's like the wishing well that I like, where you can toss a coin in and then you'll get like a little special ability back. But yeah, I like Fresco. I feel like it was pretty popular for a minute, and then it kind of faded away. But as with all Queen games, it's always being reprinted. And I even think there's a newer edition with updated art, I believe. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about like mixing the colors, getting the right colors. Like trying to plan that out, and then fulfilling those needs for those colors and getting that painting done.
Yeah, I love the slowly but surely revealing.
Yeah, right. Because there's the tiles are on top of the painting, so then as you're spending those colors to get it off, yeah, the painting is being painted. It's the illusion of it being painted.
Yeah. I don't know. Misty could be, let me really quickly get this painted before you take the tile off.
No, don't do that. But yeah, that's my number 61, Fresco. And like I said, I got the big box, so I got all kinds of content for that game. Some of the stuff I've never even used, because there's like other paintings, and there's the wall, and I don't know. There's like the stained glass stuff, and some of that I've never even played with.
Oh, wow. Oh, you found what you loved in there, and that's what you enjoy.
Yep. So yeah, 61, Fresco. It's great. It's a great game. I love it.
So I was a little surprised that the
Pompeii?
Pompeii. Downfall of Pompeii.
Yeah.
I was surprised that was as low as it was.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Well, this is where it landed. There's I'm not, we'll see what happens as time goes on. Yes. On these lists.
It'll be interesting to see what's to come.
Yes. More great games to come, as a matter of fact.
Yes. I have 60 great games left on my list.
So do I.
What? Imagine, what are the odds?
Okay, well, I guess that's going to about wrap it up this week, right? Unless you got something else. Okay, well, don't forget to check out the Long Distance Gamers channel. Always some fun stuff happening over there, including a review that's going to go up right after this video.
Yeah, maybe within an hour.
Nice. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one, where there will be more great games discussed. Bye, everybody.
Bye.